Looks like my broadcast has finally caught up. Looks like you can't turn the light on and off. Guess you can check on the retainer. Ah, something heroic this way comes. How fare you, Penguina? As ever, I am seeking inspiration to draw upon my work. If you have any new experience to share, I very much would like to hear them. Well, then, pray do not keep me in suspense. Xingyu, a being of pure violence, born of the torment of they who die for their homeland. Those souls have longed for the power to smite the empire. Little would they have imagined that this power would assume such a form, nor that it would fall into the enemy's hands to become the ultimate obstacle to freedom, bound to the will of Xenos Yegavis, a pitiful man who feels naught save when at the edge of death. The power to smite, the power to save, a desperate man did direly crave. High though the price, in full did he pay, creating a god where his dead body lay. The power to rise, the power to vie, a lonely man did madly desire. Forsook his flesh, for such was the toll, binding a god to his insatiable soul. Here we have two men who sought power but for different reasons. One wished to deliver his homeland from tyranny. The other wished to fill the void of his solitude. Yet, even should they achieve this goal, would they truly find peace? I suspect that only they would know the answer. Now you, my friend, you will continue your fight, will you not? I pray that you will again regale me with such accounts of your experiences. For as brightly as a hero's tale shines, it is not without its shadows. It is my duty, I feel, to share both with the world, the stirring and the sorrowful. Oh, oh, oh. Oh! Oh, what is this? A new regular duty has been added to the duty finder. Stone, sea, and sky options have also been updated. Oh, look at this! The Minstrel's Ballad, Shinryu's domain. Oh my goodness, this is new! Ah, something heroic this way comes. How fare you, Penguina? As ever, I am seeking inspiration to draw upon for my work. If you have any new experience to share, I should very much like to hear them. Talk about Tsukuyomi. And what manners of triumphant tale do you have for me today? Tsukuyomi, Lady of the Moon. Thus, in the mortal form of Yotsuyu, vengeful daughter of Naiuro, did this primal find a willing host. I've heard of stories of acting viceroys' merciless rule, yet none ever mentioned this terrible childhood she endured. The outward face of history surrounds little of the turmoil which rages beneath its surface. She had but one chance to be reborn, only to have it snatched away, and in the void left behind her, cruelty bloomed anew. Yes, this has all the markings of a tragic tanka. Ah, forgive me, a form of classical Hingan poetry I was but recently taught by the actors here. It goes without saying, I have yet to master it, so I will thank you for not laughing at my fumbling attempt. Neath the half-moon's glow, lily white's petal unfurl, rooted in malice, the bloom drinks in the darkness, and is swallowed by the night. The flower Yotsuyu planted was doomed to last but a single evening before its petals were scattered. Perhaps she wished only for a pretty bloom to adorn her final resting place. I do not mean to excuse her atrocities, but very few of us are born villains. Circumstances conspire to break her spirit, even as she made her misguided choices. I only hope that in death, her soul has shed the maddening shackles of vengeance. Oh, Tsukiyomi's pain. Oh, a new one. Oh, look, 2 new ones. 2 new ones. 2 new ones. Two new ones. I guess I could try it. If you think I should try it, type something. Let me know. Should I try it? Oh no, I missed it. I was ready. I just went to the bathroom. I did not abandon my duty. I had to go to the bathroom. Well, you know what? Maybe that's a signal that I'm not to do the thing. All right, I'm gonna just give up on the duty. Let me try this one. See how long this one takes. It's the wrong one. Let's see how long this one takes. wonder what this says. See? 3 times Rio frozen cancellation of restriction. I don't understand it. I don't think I can do it. Welcome, milady. There is a young maiden here who would speak with you. Misc, the adventurer has arrived. And here she is, the liberator of both Doma and Alamigo in the flesh. I am Lena Mirarle, correspondent for the Raven. You may recognize me for my expose on the secret lives of Homuncun. But enough small talk. It's not for nothing that I have been standing here since yesterday morning on the off chance you pass by. No, I am here because actually it's best you heard it from Alma. I am but an observer. Alma, come. I found her. Is this the adventurer of whom you spoke? Indeed it is. Please, I beg of you, find my father. You are his only hope. It's all right, Alma. We are attracting unwanted attention. Might I suggest a change of venue? We will await you before the Prima Vista, the village barge. The theater barge has a berth at the airship landing. As I said before, I think it better we continue this conversation in the privacy of the young ladies' bar. It's not that I don't trust anyone here, it's simply that I don't trust anyone here. Gate guard Miedumo has been instructed to look out for you. In the future, speak with him when you wish to gain admission to the docks. Thank you for coming, Penguina. You are probably wondering why I've summoned you to an airship, and a Garlean one at that. Allow me to explain on the shuttle. Wow, look at that. That is huge. I don't think I've ever been here before. The Prima Vista. Hiring. The Prima Vista serves as both staging and home to the majestic Imperial Theater Company. You can keep that dirt in your drawers. No one here is a member of the Imperial Army, nor are there any spies within the troop. At least, no known spies. Ask anyone, and they will readily attest. The majestic Imperial Theater Company are the finest practitioners of the dramatic arts to be found anywhere on the 3 great continents and beyond. They have admirers throughout the Empire and its territories, and even boast a sizable following in Gudania, hence my assignment to their story. It is a little known fact, outside Garlemald at least, that the late emperor was a devoted patron of the arts who supported various theater troupes to the tune of much coin. Indeed, Solus was so enamored with the majestic players that he ordered the construction of this very airship so that the troupe might perform in every corner of the empire. When his grandson took the throne, however, everything changed. Now, all theater troupes, domestic and foreign, must submit their work for approval by the Central Imperial Board of Censors. If a play is deemed vulgar or inflammatory, it is banned and the troupe denied their writs of transit. The worst offenders, well, they're never heard from again. This policy has effectively left playwrights with one of 2 options: compromise their creative integrity to curry favor with his radiance, or put down their quills altogether. The principal of Majestic, however, chose a third option: to express his disapproval for the new emperor's policy obliquely in ostensibly unpolitical works. Pray forgive me for my earlier outbursts. I am Elma Bas Lexentail, daughter of Principal Genormus Sen Lexentail. Mayhap you have heard of my father's latest play, the Zodiac Brave Story. Yes, I have. The Zodiac Brave Story. It's Final Fantasy Tactics. On the surface, it is an innocent retelling of a well-known Garlean fairy tale, hardly worthy of the censor's attention, but beneath it is something quite different. A fact that the censor failed to spot when they approved the manuscript for public performance. The play quickly became a huge success. The common folk love its fantastical story, while the learned classes appreciated its true message. By the time the Imperial Board of Censors realized their mistake, it was too late. No longer in a position to prohibit the performance outright without admitting fault, they took aim at the company's purse strings instead. Before long, noble patrons began to withdraw their support, fearing to be associated with the troupe. And by the end, even the learned felt compelled to feign ignorance by bleeding the Majestic of their funding. The censors robbed them of their voice. And none of this has made it any clearer as to why you are here, right? Allow me, Lena. It's Sid. I have known Genormus since we were students at the Magic Tech Academy. When I heard his daughter was in Kugane looking to enlist the aid of an adventurer, I felt compelled to give her your name. Sorry for not announcing myself sooner, old friend. Genormus and I were from different worlds, but that only served to fuel our friendship. Many were the nights we would pratty on into the wee small hours, warm flagons of peated ale, numbing our minds to the other's naive ideologies. Yet, no matter where our conversation began, it would invariably end with him telling me how he was going to change the empire from the inside out. The troop was his path. The troop was to be his path into the people's hearts. Even after the empire forced him from his home, Genormus never gave up hope that his work might change the world. Art will ever strain against artificial bounds and borders, man-made walls, and misguided wars. It is in such times of uncertainty that we must needs embrace our calling and take to the skies so others might do the same. What am I trying to say? Rather poorly I concede is that not all Garleans are hewn from the same stone. Just as there are those who pledge their lives to the Empire and would never think to question the authority of its leaders, there are those like Elma's father and myself whose love for their country does not blind them to its flaws. Still, try selling that sack of sunflower to Ella Megan or Odoma, who has watched his family consumed in the flames of a magic tech reaper. How many Eorzean adventurers do you think would leap at the opportunity to help an imperial search for her missing father, and in Garlean country, no less? But you are different. You have seen enough to know that the line between good and evil is not defined by race, color, or creed. So, what say you? I would make a poor adventurer were I to shy from adventure. Indeed. Now that you understand the nature of the task, perhaps Alma could provide some insights as to where we might begin our search. Shortly before my father disappeared, he began work on his next play, a successor to the Zodiac Brave story. But I am getting ahead of myself. Please follow me. Through adventure and hardship, young Dalita, a boy of common blood, became a hero, culminating in the birth of mythical kingdom of Evalis. But that is where the story ends. There are no records of anything that follows. Was Principal Genomus simply going to invent something? My father believed that he had discovered evidence of a second hero, one whose effort went largely unnoticed, but without whom Delita would never have risen to the throne. He was the next tale he wanted to tell, the true Zodiac Brave story. A second hero? Oh my gosh, they are tying this back to Final Fantasy Tactics for sure. I remember Delita. According to my father's study, this young man was one of Delita's closest friend and confidant. That is, until the untimely passing of Delita's sister forced the two to part ways. maybe that's why she was named Alma. Yet the unnamed hero continued to provide aid to his friend by thwarting the machinations of those who could scheme against Delita, thus paving the way for the pauper's rise to regent. You must forgive me, but I have never heard anyone make such claims. How exactly did your father come by this information? That is a long story. One which begins and ends with Jeromus becoming lost in the very legend which sought to lay there. Even as far back as our academy days, Ivalis has Jeromus firmly in its grasp. He flatly refused to believe the story was just a fairy tale. And so, when he was finally driven out of Galamol, it was only natural that he should choose this, of all places, as his refuge. Was it not, Elma? That is correct, Master Garland. It has long been my father's belief that the ruins of ancient Ivalis lies beyond Naxia, buried beneath the sands of the Damascan desert. Poor Dalmasca, the kingdom prospered in relative isolation for countless generations until the empire came along. When not touring, my father would organize expeditions into Dalmasca desert to search for proof of Ivalis's existence. Sometimes he would bring back strange artifacts, ancient tomes and crystals unlike any others. My father called them Orosite and claimed they were vital in proving his theory. This is one such crystal. By the 12, it's magnificent. Ivasian legend tells of crystal bequeathed by the gods unto those who would be kings. It is during his quest to gather Orosite that the young Delita rises to prominence. I must have heard a tale 1,000 times from my nursemaid, but that is all it ever was, a tale. My father would often tell us how the Orosites spoke to him. At the time, we assumed he was speaking figuratively, that the stone's beauty roused his muse. But then he began to act strangely. How so? Following our arrival here in Gashi, my father spent most of his time cloistered in his chambers, poring over his past research, and though he was alone, we could oft hear him in conversation. It was not uncommon for my father to recite the lines as he wrote them, but it soon became clear that this was something else. It was as if he was talking to my mother who passed several winters ago. Might this not have been out of mere loneliness? Or perhaps the strain of your flight from Golemo? Possibly, but that would not explain the voices which answered him. Alma, who are these people? I told you I did not require any help finding father, especially from outsiders. So good of you to join us. Ramza, allow me to introduce. Enough, Master Sid. Ramza Bassander. We may be shunned by the Empire, but we are still Garlands, and we still have our pride. Unlike some, it seems, we require neither the aid nor the pity of foreign rabble. Have you forgotten where you are, brother? It is we who are the foreign rabble. This land and its customs are all but unknown to us. We would be fools to conduct our search without a proven guide. Your sister is right, Ramza. As for my good friend here, your mistrust is ill-placed. I will personally vouch for her character. In all the time I've known her, she has never once let anything as insignificant as race or creed color her judgment. You are lucky to have her. But we would have you, Master Garland. Why do you refuse us? You know why. Until this affair with Omega is resolved, my hands are tied. It pains me to refuse you and your sister, but it pains me far more to leave Genomus to his fate. I am sorry. You need not apologize. I let my emotion get the better of me. After what happened at Rabba Nostre, it may be time to admit we are out of our depth. My brother's last expedition met with tragedy in the ruin